Our Scaled Scrum project. So we need to understand the scenario in which our Scrum project, which has been scaled to multiple teams, is operating. So here, as you can see, we have three Scrum teams: Scrum Team A, Scrum Team B, and Scrum Team C. And these are the people who are involved in individual Scrum teams. Together, these three Scrum teams together will be called as the CIPSA team. So as you can see, the Scrum Team A is sprinting. First in sprint 1, then in sprint 2, then in sprint 3, sprint 4, sprint 5, sprint 6, 7, 8, 9. As many sprints are needed to complete the product backlog items. Similarly, Scrum Team B is also sprinting. Sprint 1, sprint 2, sprint 3, sprint 4, and so on. C is also doing the same. Sprint 1, sprint 2, sprint 3, sprint 4. One thing you would have noticed that all these sprints are synchronized. In addition, the CIPSA team is also sprinting. As I said, together it is called the CIPSA team. The CIPSA team is also here in sprint 1. All these three individual Scrum teams are in sprint 1. The CIPSA team is also in sprint 1. Here the CIPSA team is in sprint 2. CIPSA team in sprint 3, and so on. Why it is important? Because we are focused with respect to integrated increment, not individual team increments. So at the end of sprint 1, the team will give, that is the CIPSA team will give a CIPSA integrated increment. At the end of sprint 2, the team will give a CIPSA integrated increment 2, which will be built on top of integrated increment 1. At the end of sprint 3, the team will give CIPSA integrated increment 3, which is built on top of integrated increment 2. Similarly, here also another integrated increment, that is CIPSA integrated increment 4, which is built on top of integrated increment 3. And this will continue. Simultaneously, another arrow mark has been given, that is continuous integration. So when the things are getting delivered, they are also getting integrated to the main branch. For example, let us say Scrum Team A is on this here 7th day, and here one item got completed, maybe a product backlog item, or if you are using story, one user story got completed and it got integrated to the main branch. Now sprint 1 here for Scrum Team B, here let us say one item got completed on 8th. Now this also will get integrated to the main branch. So main branch I can put, and here the increment got integrated. Then we have Scrum Team C. Here let us say another increment is coming on 7th or 6th day. Then here also it got integrated to the main branch. And this integration work will be done by the integrators, people who are integration specialists. This integration specialist will be part of every Scrum team. Here also you will have B, C. In every team there will be integration specialist, because in Scrum there is a concept called generalizing specialist. People who have generalized skills such as debugging, testing, documentation, or design, but they will be specialist in some roles. These integrators will be specialist for integration role. They are part of the team. Overall they are developers, but the specialist role is with respect to integration, and they are integrating to the main branch. So this is how it will proceed. And here also I have mentioned there is something called continuous integration, because as I said, integration will happen continuously. It is not happening at the end of the sprint. It is happening continuously as the teams are progressing or sprinting in multiple sprints. Also never forget, the CIPSA team is also sprinting on the same sprint. Here teams are sprinting on sprint 1. The CIPSA team is also sprinting in sprint 1. And at the end of every sprint, we are having an integrated increment.